Hi! In today's class we're going to be working on strong legs. So expect a lot of lunges, going to do a couple of warrior poses, and we're also going to balance in warrior 3. On the floor we're going to do a couple of stretches, leg stretches. And as always, if at any point you've got pain, please come out of it. If there's any poses you don't like, don't do them. You can just do any other pose, you can wait for us finish with that sequence and join us as we continue to move on. Prop wise, might want a belt. If you don't have a yoga belt, you can use the belt of a bathrobe, t-shirt, towel, something like that. And you also might want a block, like so. And if you don't have a yoga block, you could use a thick book or a cushion or a rolled up blanket. But a book here will work really well. And as always, have fun, and I hope you enjoy it. Okay. We're going to start sitting cross-legged, or however you feel comfortable. You could use prop-wise if you want to get a block and a belt, maybe. And if you have your block for cross-legged, you could sit on that if you find that more comfortable. It's sometimes quite nice, it elevates the spine and makes it easier to sit upright, but you obviously don't need to do that. You could sit on a cushion, you can sit in any type of seated position that you find comfortable. And how are we sitting? It's always quite nice to have your hands on your knees with the palms facing up. Let's take one nice deep inhale into the nose here. And exhale through the mouth. So maybe one more time. Nice deep inhale through the nose. And exhale through the mouth. And now if you want, you can close your eyes already. You can keep your eyes open with a soft gaze just in front of you, whatever you prefer. Breathing in and out through the nose, slow breath. As we slow down our breath, trying to slow down our thoughts. Trying to arrive in this moment. Trying not to think of anything that has happened so far today, happened in the last couple of days. Trying not to think of anything that will happen later today or in the following week. Just being present. As you sit here, maybe gently scan through your body, just starting at the top of your head. Just going down from the top of the head towards your eyes, your nose, ears, mouth, and jaw. And just scan down, noticing how your body feels. Just noting, no judging. Just do you feel heavy or light, awake or tired? Maybe there are any niggles, maybe you slept in an odd way, so maybe your neck's a little bit tight today. Scanning down your shoulders, arms, upper back and chest, middle back, belly, lower back, hips. Now we're getting to our legs. Getting down to our feet. Just becoming aware of our bodies, becoming aware of us. Breathing here for a moment. Breathe in your own rhythm today. Noting where you feel the breath. Feel it in your belly, your chest, in your ribs. If you don't feel your breath at all, you could place Your hand on your belly, one hand on the belly, one hand on the chest if you wanted to, but that's not necessary. Just breathe here for another moment. And with the next inhale, let's inhale really, really deeply as you can, filling your lungs as much as you can. And exhale completely, maybe engaging the core at the end, squeezing all the air out of your lungs. One more really deep in breath. And exhaling, squeezing our belly. One more inhale. And at the end of the next exhale, let's blink our eyes open if we shut them. Okay, lovely. Start with a little mobilization here, seated. So we're going to inhale our arms up, and exhale, we're going to interlace our fingers, like so, and pulling our hands and pulling our shoulders back a little. So we've got a little shoulder stretch here. Inhale, and on the exhale, we're letting go of the interlace of our hands, and we're placing the right hand on our knee, the left hand behind ourselves. Inhale, we're stretching up, and exhale, we're twisting over. Inhale, we're reaching our arms, we're coming out of the twist, we're doing the same thing again, interlacing our fingers over our head, pulling our hands, opening up our shoulders. Inhale here. Exhale, we're letting go. Left hand on right knee, right hand behind us, and we're sitting here. Sitting tall, and exhale, twist. Inhale, and exhale, we'll let go. We do the same thing again, arms overhead. Inhale, and exhale, pulling our fingers into each other. We're pulling our shoulders back a little bit. Inhale, exhale. Right hand, left knee, left hand behind us, and we're twisting over. Inhale, we're sitting tall. Exhale, we're twisting. Inhale, and exhale, we're letting go. One more time, arms over our head, interlacing the fingers, pulling our shoulders apart, bringing your hands down a little bit. Inhale, and exhale, we're letting go. Left hand, right knee, right hand behind us. Inhale, we're sitting tall. Exhale, we twist. Inhale, we're sitting tall, and exhale, we let go, we come through center. Going to walk our hands out in front of us for a little seated fold. You can bring your hands quite far out if you want. Elbows do not have to touch the ground, maybe looking between your fingertips, the thumbs, between your thumbs, or you could bring your hands quite close to you, and then you might be able to bring your elbows down. Just going to breathe here for one, inhale. Exhale, and with the next inhale, we're pushing into our hands and we're walking our hands back. I'm going to do the same thing one more time. If you're sitting cross-legged, let's just change whatever leg was on top or in front. And we're going to walk our hands out in front of us again. And again, you can have your hands quite far in front of you or relatively close. And bring your elbows down or not, depending on what you want. Fingers nice and wide, looking at the space between our thumbs. And we inhale here. Exhale. And inhale, we're pushing into our hands. Out, we're coming up. And we're walking our hands back towards us. Lovely. Okay, let's come into tabletop for a few cat-cows. So, hands are under our shoulders, wrists, elbows and shoulders are stacked on top of each other. Our knees are hip width apart, and we're going to bring our toes in as well with our cat-cow. So let me just As we come into cow, we're tucking our toes, we're inhaling and we're looking up to the ceiling, and maybe you can push into those toes a little bit. We're looking up, arching the spine. As we exhale, we're pointing the toes, we're pushing the ground away. And point your toes quite a bit as well here. Inhale, we're coming into our cow, we're tucking our toes again, we're looking up, arching our back. Shoulder blades together, maybe bending those elbows a little bit if that feels good. Exhale, we're pointing the toes, we're pushing the ground away, we're pushing our shoulder blades apart. Chin goes to chest. Inhale, we're tucking our toes again, we're looking to the ceiling. Arching the spine, bottom to the ceiling, shoulders to the ceiling, belly to the ground. Exhale, we're coming to our cat and pointing the toes, chin to chest, really pushing the ground away as if you're trying to lift yourself up. A round spine, tucking the pelvis as well. Inhale, we're tucking the toes, coming into our cow, looking up. Exhale, we're pushing the ground away, we're untucking the toes, pointing the toes into our cat. One more either way. Inhale, tucking the toes for our cow. Exhale, pointing the toes for our cat. And at the end of the exhale, we're coming to a neutral spine. Lovely. Let's tuck our toes now here and push back into our first downward dog. And it's early, our calves might be quite tight. So let's walk our feet here if that feels good. If you don't like that, you obviously don't have to do it. But bringing one heel down, stretching the leg of the heel that's to the ground or close to the ground, bending the other knee. And then changing over. You do not have to touch the floor with your heel at all. You can do that as slow or as fast as you like. So for another moment. Okay, now let's come to stillness. And let's just make sure we're set up correctly. So our hands are shoulder width apart. They stay the same from our cat-cow. Middle fingers pointing forward. Our arms are straight. Our shoulders are away from the ears and shoulder blades are slightly pulling apart. For flat back, if that means you have to bend your knees, especially this early on, that is totally fine. Pushing back with our hands. When we want to imagine that we're pulling our heels towards the mat, that does not mean that your heels have to touch the mat. Just by pulling them towards the mat, you're activating your calves. Your toes are pointing forward, your feet are parallel. Maybe engage your core a little bit here as well. Stay for one moment. And in your down dog, your hands are active. The ball of your hand, the knuckles, the fingers, everything is touched, is pushing into the ground so that the weight of your body is not just in your wrists. We're protecting our wrists. One breath here. Inhale. Exhale. And now with the next inhale, we're going to slowly start walking our feet towards our hands. And we're stopping with our feet about foot length behind our hands. And let's just hang here. You can bend your knees a little bit if you want. Just hanging here. If you want, you can sway from side to side. You can draw your fingers over the mat. You could hold opposite elbows if you prefer. Just waking up our back a little more. Gently stretching out the backs of our legs, the hamstrings. And now coming to center. Hanging here for one moment. Just letting gravity do its thing. Here it's quite nice to hold your elbows because that way the hands are not on the floor. Just hanging, being heavy. Okay, let's bend our knees, and we're bending our knees so much that our belly and our chest are in touch with our thighs. We're tucking our chin to our chest, and we're gently rolling up here. Gently rolling up first, so we're starting to straighten our legs, then rolling through our back, and the last thing that lifts is the chin off the chest. So go in your own speed. And the last thing that lifts is the head. Wonderful. 1 second, I forgot something. Okay, sorry. Today we're focusing on strong legs. So sorry if you had like leg day or something yesterday. Yes, so we're going to start. We're going to start in Tadasana. For Tadasana, we either have our feet just hip width apart if you prefer that, or feet touching. Wherever we are, we're going to lift our toes off the ground and we're spreading them wide like a fan. And then we're lowering one at a time, lowering the little toes, the fourth toe, the middle toe, second toe and big toe. Maybe we can see a little bit of the mat through our toes now. I quite like to lift my heels here as well and then place them down. Nice firm grounding. We're engaging our perineum, our pelvic floor, and our arms to protect our back as we fold. Rolling our shoulders up, back and down. Bring our shoulder blades together a bit. By doing that, we're opening our chest, palms are already facing up, facing forward. We're standing tall as if someone's pulling us by the top of our head. And tucking our chin, only a little bit of a nice flat neck here. Okay. And inhale, we're raising our arms up. Exhale, we're engaging our core and we're folding down. Full forward fold, hands either side of the feet, bend your knees here, it's early. Forehead towards the shins. Inhale, hands to shins, half forward fold, we're looking down. Exhale, hands down, we're stepping back with the right foot, followed by the left foot, coming into a plank. Inhaling here, exhale, knees down, chest down, chin down. We're coming through 8-point pose, Ashtangasana, bottom is in the air. Inhale, we're sliding forward into Cobra. We're pointing our toes, elbows are into the body. We're looking forward. Exhale, we're tucking the toes and we're pushing back into our down dog. We're staying here for a few breaths. In down dog, step your feet forward a little bit if you want. Again, setting it up how we were before. Hands shoulder width apart, middle fingers pointing forward, arms straight, shoulders away from the ears. Looking towards the space between your big toes. Flat back, maybe bending the knees. And breathing in and out through the nose. Inhale, we're going to step forward with the right foot in between the hands. If your foot lands somewhere in the middle, just help it forward with the hand. And then following it with the left foot on the exhale. Inhale, hands to shins, half forward fold, looking down. Exhale, full forward fold. Straight legs or bent legs, but chin towards, forehead towards the shins. Inhale, we're engaging our core again, we're coming up, nice flat back. Arms overhead, exhale, hands into heart center. Lovely, other side. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, we're folding down. Inhale, half forward fold, hands to shins, looking down, flat back. Someone could put a tray of drinks on your back and it wouldn't spill. Exhale, hands down, we're stepping back with the left foot, followed by the right. Again, into a plank. Nice flat back here. Inhale, exhale, we're putting our knees down, chest down, chin down, bottom up in the air. And then we're sliding forward, creeping our chest over the ground into our Cobra, Bhujangasana. Toes pointed, elbows into the body, looking forward. Exhale, we're tucking the toes, we're pushing into a down dog. And here again, stepping the feet in if you want, pushing into the hands, looking back. Breathing here, connecting with our breath. Our breath keeps us focused. Okay. Inhale, we're stepping the left foot in between our hands, followed by the right foot on the exhale. Inhale, hands, shins, half forward fold. Exhale, hands to ground, full forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, we're engaging our core and we're coming up with flat back. Exhale, hands into heart center. Lovely. Let's add some poses. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, folding down. Hands at the side of the feet, palms in contact with the ground, forward, forward, forward. Inhale, half forward fold. You can bring your hands to your knees now, or if you're warm enough in your legs, you could bring your fingertips to the ground in line with your toes. Exhale, hands down, stepping back with the right foot. We're staying in this low lunge for a moment, and inhale, we're raising our left arm up for an easy twist. Nice, looking great. Breathing here, maybe feeling a bit of a stretch in our hip flexors. Inhale and exhale, we're bringing that left hand down, stepping back with our left foot into plank. Inhaling a plank, and you can come down knees, chest, chin as we have done, or rock forward on your toes and bend your elbows for a chaturanga. And from chaturanga, inhale instead of cobra, we're sliding into an upward facing dog. For upward facing dog, only the palms of your hands and the back of your feet are in touch with the ground. Exhale, coming into our down dog. Breathing here, maybe stepping those feet in a little bit. Inhale, exhale. With the next inhale, we're stepping our right foot in between our hands, and we're inhaling and we're coming up into a high lunge. You can have your arms overhead, you can have your arms on your hips, whatever feels better to you. I'm going to stay here for one breath. Inhale, exhale. And what I want us to do now, you can try it, you don't have to do this. And if you find the high lunge really difficult, bring your back knee down. But what I want us to do is to try to come onto the tiptoes of the front foot and then lower that heel down again. We're doing that twice more. Coming onto the tiptoes, and as you come onto the tiptoes, maybe sinking a bit deeper into that front hip, coming down, working our balance as well. It's okay to wobble. One more lift onto the tiptoes if you want, and lowering down. And staying here, breathing here. And one more breath, arms up or in the hips. Inhale and exhale, hands either side of the front foot, and I want us to come forward. We're lifting that back leg, so we're not stepping the left foot next to our right foot just yet. The left leg is floating. And let's bring our hands, if we can. You could also use your block here if you find it really difficult. But let's try to bring our hands into heart center for a warrior 3. And in warrior 3, what really helps is if you flex or crazily point the back toes and looking at a spot just in front of you that doesn't move, focusing on something. Trying to square our hips to the floor. We don't want to open our hips here like so, but we want to have our hips nice and in line. And inhale and exhale, let's bring that left foot next to the right and come to standing. And what I think is crazy about come standing up tall if you want. With warrior 3, you might notice how your heart starts pounding. That balance is really working us quite hard. Okay, let's do that again on the other side. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, engaging the core, folding down. Inhale, half forward fold. Fingertips to mat or hands to shins. Exhale, hands down. We're stepping back with the left foot now. We're staying in this lunge. And inhale, we're opening our chest to the side, raising the right arm up for our easy twist. Fingers of the right hand are reaching to the ceiling. And the back heel is pulling back. By pulling the back heel back, you might activate that hip flexor stretch here a little more. Okay, inhale, exhale, right hand down, stepping back with the right foot. Inhale, and again you can come down on the exhale, knees, chest, chin. So we've done before, or chaturanga, rocking forward onto your toes, bending the elbows, coming down with a flat back. And inhale, either cobra, bhujangasana, or upward facing dog, or Ardha Mukha. Exhale, pushing back into our downward dog. Maybe stepping our feet in a little bit, pressing into the hands, flat back. Maybe our legs can be slightly straighter now that we're getting warmer. Inhale, exhale. So next inhale, we're stepping our left foot in between our hands. Staying for a sec. Inhale, exhale. And inhale, we're coming up into a lunge. Again, you can have your arms up above you or hands on your hips. Hands on hips will help with your balance, or at least for me, as we lift our tiptoes. And let's start with the first one. Come onto the tiptoes. As we come onto the tiptoes of the front foot, bending more into the front hip and lowering down. Coming onto our tiptoes again and lowering down. Coming down onto our tiptoes one more time, lowering down. Staying here for a moment, feeling our legs shake. At least mine are shaking. One more breath here. Inhale and exhale, hands down either side of the front foot, and we're stepping forward and we're again lifting that back leg, so we're not stepping our foot right beneath the left foot. We're trying to keep our hips square, not opening our hips to the side, but our hips are next to each other. Foot is either flexed or pointed. And finding that spot in front of you that doesn't move. And then see if we can raise our hands to our chest. If you find that difficult, you can have that block out in front of you again. If you fall out like I just did, that's totally fine. So have one more breath here. Inhale, exhale. Inhale and exhale, let's step your feet next to each other and come to standing. One breath here. We've got one more Sun Salutation, for which we're going to add a little bit more. So inhale, we're raising our arms. Exhale, engaging the core and folding down. Inhale, hands to shins or fingertips to mat for a half forward fold. Exhale, hands down, we're stepping back with the right foot and we're staying here. We're doing another easy twist, lifting that left hand off the ground, pulling the back heel back. Fingers of the left hand are pulling to the ceiling. Inhale, exhale, hand down, left hand down. We're stepping back with that left foot. Inhale here and exhale, we're coming down, knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga. Inhale, we're sliding forward either into cobra or into an upward dog. And exhale, we're pushing back into our downward dog, Ardha Mukha. Maybe stepping our feet in a little bit. Breathing here. And with the next inhale, we're stepping the right foot in between our hands. Exhale here. Inhale, coming up into a high lunge again. And one more time, only once now, we're coming onto our tiptoes if we want, bending a bit deeper into that front hip, lowering the heel down. Inhale, exhale. Looking great. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, and with the next exhale, we're going to bring the sole of the back foot down. Sole is down, more or less in line with the short edge of your mat. And we're coming into a Warrior 2, Virabhadrasana 2. Front knee is bent, it's not falling in, not falling out. So the knee is either above the ankle or slightly behind. It's okay if it's behind, but you don't want to have it protruding forward, that's not great for your knee. Our body is flat, it's in line with the long edge of the mat. Arms are at shoulder level, shoulders aren't shrugged to the ears though, shoulders are down. And we're looking to the middle finger of the front hand. And staying here for another 2 breaths. Wonderful warriors there, guys. And actually, I just saw myself in the screen. My torso was kind of reaching forward. You want to have your torso in the middle though. So just maybe pull back with the back hand, pull forward with the front hand, and then try to find the middle. Okay. Inhale and exhale. We're bringing the forearm of the right arm onto the thigh of the front thigh, and we're reaching over with the left arm. This is extended side angle Parivritta. Looking either in front of you or towards the palm of that reaching hand, the left hand here. Lovely. Okay, and now we're going to come back into Warrior 2, come back into, challenging our balance, into a lunge. And we're going to bring our hands either side of the front foot, and we're stepping forward again for one more Warrior 3. Flexing on this side, we're doing it on the other side as well. Flexing the foot or pointing it, hips square to the floor, seeing if we can bring our hands into heart center. You can leave your hands on the floor or on the block as well. Looking down to the ground, finding that spot that doesn't move. Inhale, exhale. One last inhale and exhale. Feet next to each other, and we're coming to standing. Whew. Okay, other side. We're almost there. Standing, tall and nice flat back. And inhale, arms up. Exhale, hands. We're folding down. Hands either side of the feet, palms down, pushing the hands forward as we straighten our legs maybe a tiny bit more. Inhale, half forward fold, hands to shins or fingertips to mat. Exhale, hands down. We're stepping back with the left foot this time. And we're coming into our easy twist again. So inhale, reaching the right arm up. The right arm is reaching to the ceiling. The back heel is pulling back. The left heel is pulling back. Staying here. Breathing in and out through the nose. Inhale. Exhale. Right hand down. Stepping back with the right foot. Inhaling on plank. And exhale, coming down knees. Chest, chin. Or chaturanga. Inhale, we're sliding forward, cobra, bhujangasana, or Urdhva Mukha, upward facing dog. Exhale, pushing back into a down dog, stepping our feet in a little bit. And inhale, we're stepping the left foot in between our hands. Exhale, staying here. Inhale, coming up into a high lunge. And again, only one lift if you want to. You don't have to. Coming onto our tiptoes off the front foot, the left foot, bending deeper into that front hip and lowering the heel down. And we're staying here. Hands into the air, on our hips, shoulder width apart. If you have your hands shoulder width apart, engage your fingers as if you're holding a beach ball. Okay, next exhale, we're placing the sole of our back foot, the right foot down, and coming into a Warrior 2. Back view here for you guys. Our back foot, the right foot, is more or less in line with the short edge of the mat, maybe pointing a little bit forward. Our chest, our body, is in line with the long edge of the mat. The front knee is either behind the ankle or right above the ankle. The knee's not falling in, not falling out. It's really central. Arms are at shoulder level, shoulders are not shrugged up, but down. And again here, let's do that little game Someone's pulling us by the front hand, someone's pulling us by the back hand, and trying to find the middle, nice and central. Stay here for a few more breaths. Fantastic warriors, guys. Okay, with the next exhale, we're placing our left forearm on the left thigh. We're reaching over with the right hand for extended side angle. Lovely. Either looking to the right palm or looking forward. Okay, and inhale, we're coming back into our warrior one. Exhale here. Inhale, we're going to try to come into our lunge, challenging our balance, maybe wobbling. Lovely. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, hands down either side of the left foot, the front foot. We're stepping forward into our warrior three. Either leaving our fingers on the mat, flexing our toes or pointing them, hips square, so that means hips next to each other. Flat back, hands into heart center, or maybe on a block in front of us. Imagine with like the squaring of the hips, you also want to have really nice flat back. So again, if someone rested a tray of champagne glasses on your back, that would be super level, no spillage. Inhale, exhale, inhale, and exhale, coming to standing. All right, that's it. Well done, everyone. From here, we're going to, let's come to seated. I think we've had enough of the standing poses. But let's move through a vinyasa so that we stay warm. So inhale, arms up. Exhale, folding down. Last standard forward fold. Inhale, half forward fold. Exhale, hands down. We're stepping back with whichever foot you want. This is the last time. Last plank. Inhale and exhale, coming down whichever way you want. Knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga. Inhale, cobra or outward facing dog. Exhale, rolling back. Last downward dog for today. Stepping our feet in a little bit. Pushing into our hands. Let's stay here for 3 breaths. Pushing back, feeling the stretch in our calves, hamstrings, maybe our glutes. And let's bend our knees, bring our knees to the ground, and tuck the toes, and let's come into a brief child's pose. Bring your hands under your shoulders and push into your hands to come to kneeling, and then let's come to seated. Lovely. Okay, we might need our block now and our belt, so let's get that ready. And I'm going to start with Paschimottanasana, just a seated forward fold, which is pretty much the same as the standing one. If you want, you can bring your belt around the balls of your feet, hold the belt in your hands. But whatever you do, you want to, as we fold down, you want to hinge from the hip. You want to keep your back nice and straight. I'll show you. So, hinging from the hip, we're sitting nice and tall, and then we're moving forward. We're moving forward, moving forward. And as soon as you feel that your back rounds, just stop. We're going to do this really, not necessarily safe today, but really, like just really flat back. And that's where holding onto the belt can help a little bit. You might be able to keep flatter back for a little longer. You might be able to, if you don't have a belt, just hold your legs. That nice flat back. But as soon as you do this one, the sort of tortoise back or ladybug back, where you go really round and you pull your chin to your chest, don't do that. Okay, let's sit up tall together, toes are flexed, toes to the ceiling. Inhale, if you're using your arms up, and exhale, we fold. We're hinging as far as we can, then we're reaching for our ankles, our feet, our belt, and see if we can go a bit further with a nice flat back, looking great. And staying here, staying wherever we can get to, looking at our toes, our big toes, and staying here for a few breaths. Okay, with the next inhale, we're looking up, maybe straightening our arms, and exhale, sliding back. Lovely. We're going to bring our right knee in. We're bending our right knee. Sole of the right foot is against the inner thigh of the left. For Janu Sirsasana, head to knee pose. Here again, you can use your belt, and in a second we'll use our block. So we're sitting here, same thing. And what I want us to do here before we fold is, if you just sit here relaxed, you'll notice that your chest is going through the middle of your legs. What we want to do is do a little twist so that our chest is facing the foot of the straight leg. I'm going to inhale, arms up, and same thing. Exhale, we hinge from the hip. We don't want to round our back too much. We can hold our belt if we've got that ready. And pulling down, nice flat back. We're staying here for a few breaths. Inhale with straightening our back, straightening our arms. And now we're going to bring our block here on the inside of the left calf. We're going to place our left forearm coming into a twisted Janu Sirsasana. We can place the forearm on the block. Maybe you would be able to bring the forearm onto the ground on the inside of that calf, but if you can't bring the whole forearm, the back of the forearm, in touch with your mat, with the floor, that's where a block is fantastic. So you're just lifting the floor up a little bit. So we're bringing our arm down, wherever we are, and now we're going to stack our shoulders on top of each other, and we're reaching over, we're twisting. Imagine that your left foot is pushing against a wall, and you're trying to touch the same wall with your fingertips of your right hand, that reaching hand. We're looking to the ceiling if that is comfortable for your neck, or just looking to the floor. Wonderful. Really feeling that stretch in that right side body. Breathing in and out through the nose, even in those challenging poses. Okay, and on the next exhale, we're bringing our right hand to the floor, and we're gently, gently, gently walking our hands back towards us. Lovely. Let's bring the left foot into us and see if we can bring the soles of both feet to touch. For that, you can bring your feet further away from yourself, as far away as you find comfortable, or as close to yourself as you find comfortable. And if you're super flexible in your hips, you could even bring that block in between your feet, which makes it a little more challenging, but I'm not that flexible in my hips. So bring our feet, soles of the feet together, bring the fingers around the back of the feet, thumbs around the balls of the feet, and we're opening our feet like the pages of a book, as if we could read the soles of our feet. And for that, I say that quite regularly in the classes, if you were to push the soles of your feet together like so, you'll notice that your knees are a lot higher off the ground than when you pull the soles of the feet open. And we're just staying here, sitting up nice and tall, maybe looking towards our big toes, looking at our feet. Okay, and we're going to now stretch out that right leg, bring the sole of the left foot against our inner thigh of the right. Toes of the right foot are pointing to the ceiling, and we're going to do Janu Sirsasana, head to knee pose, and a twisted version on this side. So if you have your belt and you want to use it, you can bring that around your foot, ready. And again, here, just that little twist from your chest pointing to between your legs to the chest pointing over your right leg, the straight leg. Going to inhale our arms up and exhale, hinging from the hip, keeping our back straight and coming down, maybe holding onto our belt. By holding onto our belt or our leg, you can pull a little bit, maybe coming deeper, keeping our back flat. And feeling a stretch in the back of the leg, looking down. It's perfectly normal that one side feels easier than the other. Can be so many reasons. Being right or left-handed means that generally when you're right-handed, your right side of your body is stronger. Or left-handed, left side of your body is stronger. So I find that being right-handed, my right side, sometimes it depends on the pose as well. Sometimes it's tighter, sometimes it's more accessible. Maybe you hurt yourself a little bit, maybe you've been exercising in a certain way, so it's totally okay if one side feels tighter. One more breath here. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, we're straightening our arms. And now we're going to, if you want to use your block, bring the block on the inside of the right calf and place your right forearm on the block. If you want to see if you can bring the right forearm onto the ground and have the whole forearm, back of the hand in touch with the ground, give that a go. If that's not accessible to you, just bring your arm on the block. And then we're going to reach over with that left arm, stacking our shoulders on top of each other. And again, your front foot, the right foot here, is pushing against an imaginary wall. And we're trying to touch that same wall with the fingertips of the reaching arm, the left hand. Nice. Either looking to the palm of the left hand or just looking towards the floor in front of us. Breathing here. And the next inhale, we're bringing exhale, we're bringing the left hand onto the floor, both palms into the floor, and we're gently, gently, gently walking our hands towards us. We're done with our belt now, so you can place that to the side. The block we might actually use in a second, so have that ready somewhere near you. And we're going to lie on our backs with our knees bent. Feet on the floor, knees to the ceiling, feet and knees about hip width apart. And we're going to do a reclining pigeon glute stretch after all those standing poses. I think that would feel really nice. So we're going to lift the right foot off the ground, cross the right shin over the left thigh. And you can either stay here, if you find that already quite enough as a stretch. You could place your hand against the right thigh, pushing that back a little bit to maybe increase the stretch. If you want some more, lift your left foot off the ground. And again, you can stay here, maybe flexing both feet, have both feet active. And again, here you could push against, gently against the knee of the right knee, just pushing that back. If you want to go a little bit further, you can bring your right hand in between your legs, left hand on the outside of the left thigh, and interlace your hands behind your thigh, pulling your thigh towards your chest. And if you want to go a little further, you can interlace your fingers around your shin. But if at any point, as you go for the next option, your back rounds and your head lifts off the mat, then just go back to the previous option. We want a flat back, head on the ground. So if that means you have to hold your hands behind your thigh, that's totally cool. It's really only options that we're working with. There is no right or wrong here. And wherever we are, let's stay here for a few breaths. Slowing down our practice. And continue to breathe in and out through the nose. Okay, wherever you are holding your leg, if you were, let go. Place the left foot back on the floor and uncross that right shin. Let's hug both knees into our chest just for a quick release, maybe rocking from side to side. And coming into center, bring the feet back on the mat, feet, knees hip width apart. And now we're lifting the left foot off the floor, crossing the left shin over the right thigh. And again, we can stay here, maybe pushing the left against the left thigh with the left hand. Want to go further, lifting our right foot off the floor. Again, here you could very gently place the left hand on the left knee. Want to go a little further. You can bring your left hand in between your legs, right hand on the outside of the right leg, and interlace your fingers behind your thigh. This is probably already quite intense, but if you want to go a little further, you can interlace your fingers around your shin. But if at any point, as said before, you round your back, head comes off the mat, then please go back to the previous version so that you have a nice flat back. Pulling our thigh, of the right thigh into our body in whatever way we can, whether we're holding it behind the thigh, around the shin, or maybe not even holding at all. We're staying here for a few breaths. If we were holding a leg, we're letting go of that now, placing the sole of the right foot onto the mat, uncrossing the left shin, placing that on the floor. And let's hug our knees in one more time, rocking gently from side to side. And coming back to center. Again, soles of the feet onto the floor, knees and feet are hip width apart. Feet are as close to our glutes as we can get them. And here we're going to do bridge. And if you have your block, you can have your block ready, because I think today a supported bridge would be really nice. If you don't have a block, don't worry. If you do have a block, I'll just show you. You lift your hips up and you place your block under your sacrum, the bony part of your lower back. You can do that either with the block flat like this, or a bit higher where it's a little skinny long edge, whatever feels good to you. So let's just do that together. And if you don't have a block, we're just going to have our arms beside our body, palms into the ground, and we're lifting up, just coming into really gentle bridge here, and stay for a few breaths, or as long as you can. If you have a block or a book, bring that under the bony part of the lower back, lifting your hips, placing it there. Might have to experiment a little bit with where it's comfortable, especially when you're on the skinny side of your block. And just relax here. You can have your hands on your tummy. You could even experiment with having your arms overhead, making yourself nice and long. Just super gentle, supported bridge. Staying here. You could have cactus arms, bending the arms. That's quite nice. Whatever feels good. If you're in the active bridge, where you lift, you're not resting on a block, come out whenever you're done, and then you can do another one if you fancy, or you can just relax lying on the floor, already getting into Shavasana, or in sort of a baby Shavasana just before we start. We will do it together. If you don't like the supported bridge, please come out. I think it's I personally find it really enjoyable. Stay for 2 more breaths if you want. If you are still in your supported bridge, inhale and lift your hips up a little bit so that you can grab that block and move it out of the way, and then lowering your hips to the floor. Let's bend our knees, bring our knees to our chest one more time, giving ourselves a nice big hug, maybe rocking from side to side. And if you want, you can now also do a happy baby pose. So separating your legs, bending the knees, holding either your calves, your ankles, or the outside of your feet. If you're holding the outside of the feet, your arms go on the inside of the knee, and then you're holding the outside of the feet, so sort of crossing over. Pulling your thighs into your chest. Feet are flexed as if we're standing. And if you want, you could even rock from side to side here. Little active happy baby. And staying here. One more breath. Inhale and exhale. Let's let go of our feet or wherever we're holding, if we're in happy baby, and stretching our legs out in front of us. Feet are mat hip width apart. Our feet are flopping out. Feet relaxed, legs relaxed. Our arms are by the side of our body. Palms are facing up. Our hands are about 3 inches, 15 centimeters-ish away from our hips, but you could have it wider if you find that more comfortable. Our shoulders are into the floor, into the mat, nice and flat. Neck is also flat, so tucking the chin slightly, lying comfortably. And let's have one nice deep inhale through the nose here. Inhaling as much air as we can. And exhale with a sigh through the mouth. I find that sighing releases that last bit of tension that you might hold in the back. Closing the eyes if you want. And relaxing. Maybe have another body scan as we're lying here, starting from the top of the head, going from the top. And as we scan down, we're relaxing any last muscles. So from the top of the head, going down, we're relaxing our forehead, letting go of any tension. Relaxing our eyebrows, temples. Our eyeballs are sinking into the sockets. Relaxing our cheeks, our nostrils, the nose. The jaw muscle, we're not clenching the jaw, our teeth are slightly separated. The tongue is lying in the mouth, it's not glued to the roof of the mouth. Our ears are relaxed as well. Our throat, our neck are soft and relaxed. Our shoulders are relaxed, soft and smooth. Our arms are lying heavy on the ground, also relaxed. Palms facing the ceiling, our fingers are slightly curled in. Our upper back is relaxed and our chest just moving gently with each breath. Up on the inhale, down on the exhale. Our belly is relaxed, soft, and not tightening the muscles, trying to suck it in, making our belly flat. We're just letting it be, flowing with the rhythm of the breath. Back is relaxed, our glutes and hips are relaxed. Glutes are heavy on the mat. Our hips are open, our legs slightly falling apart. The thighs are relaxed. The knees and the back of the thighs are relaxed too. The back of the knees are soft. Our calves are heavy on the mat. Shins just floating, doing nothing. Our feet are relaxed. You can feel the air on the sole of our feet, not toes, just floating. Our whole body is relaxed and soft. And stay here for a few moments, trying not to fidget, in total relaxation. back into your body. Maybe have a nice inhale, deep inhale. And exhale completely. Bring some movement in your body. Moving your toes, your fingers, wrists and ankles. Bring your legs together. Arms overhead, maybe touching your fingertips, and going for a nice full body stretch. Pointing your fingers, pointing your toes and pulling your fingers back. And letting go. And we're hugging in our knees to our chest one final time. Nice big hug here. Rocking from side to side very gently. And we're going to have our knees fall to the right, rolling onto the right so that your head is lying in the right upper arm. Inhale, exhale here. Left hand in front of our chest, and we're pushing into the left hand and gently coming to seated. We're sitting in a comfortable position, so it could be cross-legged or kneeling, whatever feels good to you. And we're going to take a nice inhale here. Inhale. Exhale. And we're going to make a nice big circle with our arms on the inhale. Arms are going up. Exhale, pulling our hands down. And we're going to bring our thumbs to the space between our eyebrows, the third eye, for clear and kind thoughts. Thumbs to our throat for clear and kind words. Thumbs to our heart for clear and kind feelings to others and to ourselves. And if you want, you can bow with gratitude to the practice of yoga and gratitude to ourselves for moving today. Thank you so much for being here with me.